Hello, I'm Michael Wybrow. The final thing I want to talk about this week is how we can display web pages. So this is slightly different than the other parts of this week where we've been talking about making web requests. And this is more about if your app needs to display web content directly, how can you do that? Well, it turns out to be surprisingly easy. So there's a view called WK for WebKit, WKWebView, and it's a view that can display content of web pages to the user. They can be local pages or they can be external pages, as in hosted on the internet, and it provides scrolling. So it's backed by UI scroll view, though you don't need to know any of that. All you do is define the size of it. It can be full screen or it can be part of the screen. And it's interactive, so it allows the user to tap, follow links, pinch, zoom in, zoom out, and there's a bunch of properties that you can use to say whether you want it to not be interactive, whether you want it to not be scrollable, whether you want it to not zoom or whatever, so you can control all this kind of stuff. And then it provides delegate methods to customize particular behavior. You can drag and drop it to storyboards just like any other views, and you can also execute JavaScript on it so that you can get information out of the page, or you can modify the page via JavaScript to change something. So what does this look like? Well, we have to use the framework WebKit, so you have to import WebKit. You can, assuming you've dropped one onto your storyboard, you can create an outlet to it like you would any other view. And then once you have that in, say, your view did load, you could call one of the different load methods on the web view. One of these is load HTML string. As the name suggests, you give it an HTML string, which is just a web page in HTML format, basically. And you can optionally also give it a base URL. So this is a URL within your app bundle. And if the web page had, say, an image tag that referred to a particular image file, then it would look for that image file inside this base URL that you specified. So you can, give a whole bunch of images or scripts or whatever and put them in a particular place and access them in this way. The other thing you might want to do is load content from the web via a URL request. This is pretty easy. You create a URL instance in the same way that we've done in many examples for this week, and then you create a URL request from that URL, and then you pass that to the load method for a web view. It will perform the web request. It will populate the page, and in fact, like if that web request is to something like monash.edu, it's going to load the web page, it's going to load any scripts, it's going to load any style sheets, and it's going to load all of the images and videos that are displayed on that page. So it may perform 30 different web requests in the background in order to populate the web view. And that's how you access WK web views. Thanks for watching.